What's up? What's up? God is good all the time. God is good all the time. Continue to live purpose. Continue to save the children from this wicked world. You know what I'm saying? I got something to talk about y'all with y'all tonight. Um, Media manipulation. Media manipulation. Okay. Yesterday I was talking to y'all about fear factor, but I want to tell y'all something. Okay. I'm gonna teach y'all a language that's actually spoke in media. Okay. Something that's affecting your children, your future. Your children are your future. Okay, so let me tell y'all this though, for real. Check this out. I've never had any children, right? I've done a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? When you get to be my age, you've done a lot of things. You've been a lot of places. And when you don't have children, there's nothing that tells you to stop. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm going to speak on media manipulation is because it's real and it affects your children. You know what I'm saying? You hear people talk about agendas and all kind of stuff, right? But there's nothing more important than your children because they are your future. They are the point of breaking generational curses, and it starts with you teaching them what's real and giving them knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So, check this out. I'm going to teach you a method in a way that media manipulates. Okay. It's wordplay. And you literally, the human mind thinks a certain way. So, I'm going to tell you something that's opposite of what I mean, but I'm going to use the words for you to kind of signal in on, okay? All right, so if I was to say, black people aren't the only ones doing drugs, if I use that sentence, you might think that I'm talking about everything else. They're not only black people using drugs, but really what I'm signaling in on is black people are using drugs. Or if I was to say, and this is for the people that don't know, I'm just going to say you got to go deeper with this, and I could go. I'm just doing one-on-one right now. Okay? So if I was to say, Susan is not a manipulator and she's not a bad person. I just use manipulation and bad person. So using that in the context of speaking on Susan, I somehow put that in your mind that something's going on with her manipulating and being a bad person. Even though I'm saying she's not. But I'm putting it in your head that simultaneously while I'm saying not, that manipulation and bad person has something to do with Susan. I just wanted to start with media manipulation because it's mind control. And sometimes they're upfront with it. Sometimes they drop little spots in there. And they kind of put it in there to make you always associate a negative with someone that is probably positive. You know, Malcolm X said something. They said, the media would have you thinking that your oppressors, I'm going to go, so what are you real trying to make you think that your oppressors are your heroes and your freedom fighters are basically the bad people. You know what I'm saying? That's so true. Tupac said, don't believe everything you read because the media is playing dirty tricks. This is true. Mind manipulation, mind control. You know what I'm saying? I want you to watch this because your children aren't adults yet and smart enough to decipher the information that's coming out of those phones that they have, those smartphones that are really dumbing down phones. You know what I'm saying? Because social media is meant to put all this information in your head about all the wrong stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, speaking on the children, because they are specifically and in particularly affected by this very, very much so. If you as an adult can't understand this, imagine these children growing up into this. You know what I mean? Let's take it back to the time when, I don't know if y'all see this, y'all can Google it, but they had this little black girl, or YouTube, they had this little black girl and they had her choose what doll that she thought was prettier, and they put a black doll and a white doll there, and she chose the white doll. The reason why is because the images that she sees that's associated with greatness and beauty, and they were these white people. So she unconsciously associated herself with being ugly. So she chose the white doll over the black doll. Specifically, we're going to talk about media, but we're going to also talk about mind manipulation. Okay? All the forms and platforms of media are meant to control your mind. Right now, they have a bunch of scientists right now trying to get access to Mark Zuckerberg's platform, Facebook and Instagram. They want to see how it affects the youth. Scientists are actually looking into this. But why though? Why? We'll get to that in a moment. They've had this man, Mark Zuckerberg, in court. And this is the reason why all of this stuff is going on, where they control what you say now. They call it through bullying. But in all actuality, if you speaking on the truth of things that's really going on, they control that part of it. You know what I'm saying? They control your choices on what to believe. What they call truth. They want you to know what their truth is. Okay? So, media manipulation is wordplay, and it's constantly drilling something in your mind, a narrative, an agenda, so that you can be thinking the way that they need you to think, basically. You know what I'm saying? America itself has been dumbed down so much. They use music, they use social media platforms, apps, they use the internet news, they use all of this stuff, and your children are soaking it up, right? So, and even you are too. So I just wanted to get to the point where I let you guys know that media manipulation does exist, and you gotta watch out for that, because we seeing a lot of stuff going on in the news now. You know what I'm saying? Just recently, look it up, Google it. They were speaking on China. They just found out basically that they can manipulate weather. They have the technology to control weather. Like, they were having some kind of festival, some Chinese festival over there, and they wanted for their large crowds to have a good day, so they cleared the skies with something that they were firing into the clouds. Now that's been going on. That goes way back, but they're just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that do know, they'll be called conspiracy theorists, but this stuff has actually been going on. They've been showing you that they could do this. You know what I'm saying? But the manipulation part of the media is making it seem like, is it really true? Is it really true? You know what I'm saying? So watch out for what you believe. Be a critical thinker. Don't just be something that whatever they put out there in the media, that's what tells you what's truth. You know what I'm saying? What's true and what's false. That's literally mind control. That you don't question that. And you don't gotta, listen, you don't gotta question it. Just look at this. Across the world right now, speaking on COVID, the pandemic spread worldwide. And if you remember, in the beginning, there were countries that were saying that they were not having that many COVID cases, that this was something different. They thought it was the flu. Before that, they thought it was this, this phone thing going on. You know what I'm saying? They pumped out so much fear that people went and bought up all the tissue. Now think about that. Why did people buy tissue? Why did people buy all the tissue? Because in the media, they said the most important thing to get right now is tissue. So people went and bought cases and cases of tissue and just stocked up on tissue. You know what I'm saying? Stocked up on it. And when all the tissue was gone, they started buying disposable wipes. You know what I'm saying? Water and tissue. Water and tissue. Okay? The media put out there that you need tissue, and people went out there. Before they bought food, they bought tissue, sanitizer, and water. They stocked up on it. Be careful of mind controlling techniques, okay? I'm gonna show you something. Back in the day, years and years and years and years ago, people used to read the newspaper to see what was going on, right? And if something happened, they believed it. If something came in the news like such and such, schools are integrating black and white, and it's a tragedy. This is against American society, da 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 da. Now, in retrospect of where we are now today, it was wrong in the first place to separate based off of skin color. At least that's what was, the thought. Like, people should be able to go wherever they want to go, right? Freedom of choice. But when the media put out there that this is a tragic situation in America, that your white children are going to have to go to school with black children, that was tragic. It caused so much uproar that you had people in the news spitting, throwing rocks at young little kids walking into school just because they wanted to learn. There's a lot of agendas that go on through the media. There's a lot of agendas that go on through the media. You can't just go off of that. You have to research. You have to research. You have to know. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm speaking on even how media they do it so differently now. because they can't just come out and say this is a tragic situation that black kids are going to white schools. They can't just come out and say that anymore. They'll use other things, statistics, saying that the crime rate is so high in these urban neighborhoods. Where's the urban neighborhoods at? Black neighborhoods, but they're using the word urban. That crime is so high, and we're hiring more police. And what does that do? They're not saying black people specifically, just saying urban. And you speak on urban, the first thing you associate with urban and inner city is poor people. And who are poor people associated with? And why are they? Why are poor people associated with black people? Somebody is painting a narrative, okay? But I'm not going to get into that. I'm just telling you, watch out for what you look at on 24-hour news, what you take into your ear, into your brain. And when you do, research it. So you can talk to your children and tell them what's true and what's false. Each one teach one, okay? Each one teach one. What am I saying wrong? What am I saying wrong? If you want to believe the media blindly, you go right ahead. I'm just telling you, okay? What am I saying wrong? It's a lot of people want to believe that everything is just peachy, hunky-dory, whatever you want to call it. They want to make it seem like it's... They don't want to go there. It's like the Matrix movie. They don't want to be unplugged. They don't want to know what the world is really like, because then somehow, even though things are happening right in front of their face, somehow their eyes be open. They can't even deal with it. And what can they do about it? It's a lot they can do about it. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you, watch out for media manipulation, okay? Watch out for us on your social media platforms, on the 24-hour news cycles. Watch out for media manipulation. We have people out here that want to use... They want division. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Just keep this in mind, all right? Don't, I'm not going with the conspiracy thing. Just keep it in mind, okay? All right. I'll talk to you guys.